Hi, this is Ralph Wilson with Web Marketing Today. I'm in San Jose at the Search Engine Strategies Conference here with Mike Grehan. Mike, we've been talking about search and where it's going. Why don't you tell me what you see as far as where search is going?
Well, I think we've reached a kind of different phase where originally with search it was all based around the technology of a crawler coming to a website, crawling the pages of your website, taking the text out, putting the text into an indexer, and then trying to make some sense of what that page is about. And in the first kind of phase of search, it was all about trying to rank documents by just looking at that text. And the problem that you have with that is that there are too many documents that are all relevant because they have the same keywords. So then the second phase of search has been mainly visible via Google, who've been very open about links and how important links are. So what they did was they brought in kind of human evaluation by using network theory and looking at who's linking at who, and it's not about the number of links, we've talked about this before, it's about the quality of those links. And that improved the quality of search. However, it brings us to a point now where originally when Google wrote their paper, they talked about the unique democratic, the uniqueness of that on the web. And yet, unfortunately, what they did was to provide people with the ability to rank something at number one at Google, but only if you had a website. So it's elitist. When you think about it, what they actually did was alienate 500 million end users, who don't have links, they can't link to you. So this next phase of search is now looking at the voice of the end user. It's a bit too much to expect, that you could only get to number one at Google because other people have got websites that link to you. So looking at the social graph now, this is why people talk about social media, but it's more about social marketing, and it breaks down into three parts. And the final result is going to be what they call social search. So in the first instance, you need a network. So you've got Facebook or whatever that community is, yes? So you've got a social network. And then you need social media. So now we have Delicious, we have all of this stuff that people are doing out there, the voice of the end user, where they're rating and they're tagging and just social bookmarking. All of this provides very loud and clear signals to Google about which pages are important. And it's not just about pages now, we're talking videos. You do a lot of video, videos are turning up. So the final part of it is then when you get social search. And social search is not what people think it is. It's more about tapping into a trust network. Okay? So let's assume you've got a community talking about childcare, and they're talking about allergies. And all of these people talk about, my kid had this allergy, mine, this is what we did. And then they all agree on what was the best method of dealing with that allergy. Okay? This is verifiable information. 10 blue links at Google is not verifiable, but this is verifiable. So when you take that result, which the community has decided is the best answer to that particular query, and then fold that back into the algorithm again. So I think the future of search is a lot more about looking at the voice of the end user.
So what is Google looking for to be able to figure out what's important in an automated fashion? I mean, we can determine if we're good researchers and have some knowledge of the field, but how do they do it on an automated basis?
Well, like I say, it's all about looking for these new signals. The first signals are still strong. Text on a page is strong. Links are strong.
Right. But the social kinds of things,
yes.
Are they looking for your presence in the social networks, essentially?
Well, if you think about the relationships that they have and some of the new properties that they own. I mean, for instance, let's just take YouTube. YouTube they bought. YouTube is a community. It is a social network, yeah? So they own that. Now, I go to YouTube and I do a query for internet marketing.
Right.
Yeah? They know that Ralph Wilson has videos at YouTube. Okay, so maybe they've been bringing back, prior to universal search, as they call it, static web pages. But now if they know they've got the video, they'll bring the video back. Why would they bring the video back? Because they know how many people have viewed it. They know how popular it is. They know when you uploaded it, and there are keywords that go with it.
Now, the links to my site aren't strong from YouTube, so it would be the video on YouTube they would see.
Yeah, it's about the number of times that the video has been played. It's about how fresh the video is, and of course if they start looking across places like Delicious, when people go to YouTube they get an opportunity to click through to Delicious and tag it, and the social bookmarking. So these are pretty loud signals. If you think of rating sites like Zagat and those kind of things, so you take that kind of human evaluation, yes, they can automate it. I mean, it's not too difficult for them to find out how many times your video's been played. They own Blogger. for instance, so they know how often people blog because they own the software. But more to the point, they own FeedBurner, so they know how many, which are the most popular sites by the number of subscriptions.
And feeds,
and the feeds.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of other places that they can look for signals.
So what I'm hearing you say is, if you're not fully engaged in social media, you're going to be missing out on this next kind of wave of fine-tuning search.
It's one of those, if what you're doing now is still working, don't stop it. You
exactly.
do the text, you do the
stuff
the bedrock
still
stuff.
works.
Yeah, absolutely. But become more aware of the fact that, that there are other strong signals out there that you need to be tapping into. And if you have got, we're moving away from this term search engine optimization into what I refer to as digital asset optimization. So what I do with my clients now is take a look not just at, let's see if your web pages are optimized. Do you have video? Everything from a PDF document. Do you have video? Do you do a podcast? Do you have a blog? Local, all of these things that you can put together. Yeah. I mean, I did a search for bed and breakfasts in New York just before I came to the conference, just to show somebody something really significant, which is more about digital asset optimization. The top 10 results were local results from Google's local business center. You don't even need to have a website to appear there. And what it was doing, the local results were pushing all of the organic results down below the fold. So even if you think, I'm in the top 10 at Google, I'm number one, you may not actually be visible to the end user if you're being pushed below the fold.
Well, that's fascinating stuff. Tell me about your business and what you do, Mike.
I joined Acronym Media in New York, and we're perched on the 55th floor of the Empire State Building. So the job came with a very nice view. It can be a bit scary at times.
And what do you do?
So the title that they gave me is Global KDM Officer, and KDM stands for Keyword Driven Marketing.
Okay.
And I think it kind of sums up more about the perhaps more holistic approach that we have, because as a marketing organization, search is at the core of our business, but we actually believe that the keyword is a proxy for a customer.
Well, thanks very much for sharing with us.
You're welcome.
This is Ralph Wilson with Web Marketing Today.